Yo, 2022 has no chill, and I'm not just talking about this new Soko Frost collection. That was a bad joke, cut. No, but seriously, I didn't expect myself to reviewing watches so early in the new year, but Grand Seiko just unveiled a handful of new watches, and today I'm really excited to show you the new Soko Frost Collection, the SBGH295, the new Kirazuri Dial in a 62GS case, and the SBGA471, a Spring Drive in a 44GS case. And today I'm wearing the original Kirazuri, the SBGA387, so we can do a side-by-side comparison to show you the differences with the new Kirazuri. And I think that this video will surprise you whether you're new to Grand Seiko or whether you also have this watch just like I do. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe. And without further ado, let's just get straight into it. So if you're like me and you have the original Kirazuri, the SBGA387 from 2018, you must be wondering what is the main difference when you compare it with the SBGH295. Well, first off, Kirazuri is a term for shining painting. And in my left hand on the 387, you can see that it is overall a more reflective and shining depiction of Kirazuri. So that means that it has Zaratsu finished hours and markers, and that reflects a lot of color. You can see it reflects black there, and then it goes into white as well. Where on the 295, you can see that it is mostly brush finish on the markers, and that way it reflects mostly white light. So that's one key difference right off the bat. Another is the dial texture. The dial texture on the 387 is a little bit more like a glacier camo. You can see more spots all together, and it still has that same ice blue dial color. But then on the 295, you can see that it is a lot more fine. It's a lot more textured and it's less reflective. You might also notice that the 295 looks a little smaller even though they're both a 40mm case, but that's just a trick from the 62GS because it has no bezel. Where on the 44GS case, obviously it has these nice flat surfaces to reflect Zaratsu finishing, and this one is my personal piece, so there is some wear on it, so don't mind that. So the other details of the SBGH295 are the exact same as the other high-beat 62GS case models. It's a 40mm case with a lug-to-lug of 47mm and a thickness of 12.9mm. There is a screw-down crown which is signed and it's water resistant to 100 meters, so that's perfect for day-to-day. And you'll notice that on the case side is more brush finishing, and then there's drilled lug holes, so it makes strap changes really easy. Between the lugs is a 21mm width, and it does come with a matching strap. So this one is a dark gray strap with ice blue stitching, which looks really great. I really like this strap. It's a little bit more matte finish, so it's not highly reflective. And it also has a nice folding clasp. On the bracelet, it is the same as the other 62GS cases. So it's mostly brush finishing with just a high polish down the center. And then you have a Grand Seiko raised logo at the clasp. It's a double pusher, so you can open it. And then you'll notice that on the movement, there is a very faint Grand Seiko lion logo, but it's one of the translucent ones, so it doesn't block the view of the beautiful 9S85 high beat movement. And this movement can hold a 55-hour power reserve, plus 5 to -3 seconds per day accuracy, so better than COSC. Now let's put this on the wrist so you can kind of see how it wears. And I purposely wore a light blue shirt with a dark blue suit, just so you can see how good it looks as if it was a business kind of casual look. So on the wrist, it looks great. And I can imagine how much better it would look on that strap as well. You can see on my 6.4-inch wrist, the dial doesn't look that big, especially like I mentioned, no bezel. So it wears really well and it doesn't sit too high on the wrist. So you can kind of see that from this angle. I also like that on the 62GS model, they use a inner chapter ring to denote all the minutes. So that way the dial is very clean. You just have the applied hour markers attached on top. Whereas on the original one, you have the minutes printed onto the dial itself. It's not a bad look, but it's just a different look. And I kind of like this because they utilize that kind of traditionally kind of dead space if it's not a diver or something, this is a good space to fill in. And then like all Grand Seikos, it does have a framed date window, Zaratsu finished, so it really connects that symmetry overall. And it looks great on the wrist, so I would definitely consider both of them. So now I'm going to show you the new SBGA471. It is the spring drive model from the Soko Frost. So both this and this high beat model, they're both from the Soko collection, which you remember a few years ago, it depicts Soko, which is a transition from fall into winter in the Arashiyama bamboo forest. And the two pieces that came out a few years ago was the light and shadow. And so this one is closer linked to those original pieces. You can see that the texture on the dial has a vertical lining, and this dial is inspired by the first frost on the Arashiyama bamboo forest. So it's a light blue color to represent that ice color on the forest trees. You notice that it has a matching seconds hand with its power reserve hand. This one is not a Kirazuri dial, but it does have the same kind of color tone of like ice blue, but with more vertical texture. And it also has that Zeratsu finishing on the hours and the markers, so it's a lot more reflective of an experience. Same 44GS case, 40 millimeters, 46.2 millimeter lug to lug, thickness, 12.5 millimeters, screw down crown to 10 bar water resistance. It has drilled lug holes with a 19 millimeter lug width, and it does also come with a beautiful matching strap. This one is in a dark navy blue with ice blue stitching, so this one also will look incredibly well. And then down the bracelet also has a double pusher clasp with the Grand Seiko raised logo. And then you have a beautiful view of the 9R65 underneath the blue sticker. There is a faint lion logo, so it doesn't block the view of the Tokyo stripes there. And this movement is accurate to 1 second per day with the 72-hour power reserve. It's going to wear pretty much just like the original Kirazuri. And for those who like that ice blue color, this one's going to look really great. So it also matches my outfit completely with the light blue and the dark blue suit jacket. So this one's also an incredible watch and a winner. And this one is priced at $6,000. So it's in line with the other Grand Seiko spring drive models in the 44GS case. I think that if you already own the original Kirazuri like me, you might actually still be interested in this, because I know I definitely am. I was really surprised when I saw this in the metal, and I think it's a great piece. And so both of these pieces are now available in our store at Karat & Co. If you have any questions, you can send us an email over at sales@karatco.com, and we'd be happy to help you out. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new here, please make sure to subscribe and let me know what your comments are on the new Soko Frost collection. And like this video if you enjoyed it. It's been a minute, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.